Why is the United States launching strikes in the Southern Caribbean? To answer that, we have to look at the massive military build-up of bases and assets that have been surging for months. What is happening at Naval Station Guantanamo Bay in Cuba? Once a key Cold War outpost, this facility is being massively expanded with new drone hangars and missile defenses. The US military is turning this strategic hub back into a launchpad for special operations. And what about the Curaçao International Airport in the Netherlands Antilles? This isn't just for tourists anymore. It's being transformed into a forward logistics node to support rapid troop deployments. But why is the US doing this right now? There are two main triggers. Is it because of Russia and Iran? Yes, intelligence shows that Moscow and Tehran are not just advising Maduro. They are embedding advanced drones and advisors. The US views this as a direct backyard threat. A red line they must enforce. Is it about the drugs? Absolutely. We are already seeing the opening salvos of conflict. US Navy destroyers have been documented sinking speedboats loaded with cocaine heading from Venezuelan ports. They are strangling the cartel's lifelines before the main assault escalates. If a full operation unfolds, what assets are already locked in near Venezuela? The US Navy has deployed a layered strike package. They are using the USS Gerald Ford, a nuclear-powered supercarrier. Its role isn't just air superiority. It is also a command nexus packed with F-35C stealth fighters. The Gerald Ford is there to dominate the skies and unleash drone swarms to shred Venezuelan radar networks. They are the vanguard to paralyze enemy defenses. And why is the USS Iwo Jima positioned offshore? The Iwo Jima is the spearhead, loaded with MV-22 Ospreys and landing craft. Its mission is to hurl Marine expeditionary units onto contested shores. But how do we know this is regime capture and not just patrols? Because of the Delta Force teams aboard. You don't deploy Tier 1 operators unless you plan to snatch high-value targets like Maduro himself. It is built to infiltrate urban chaos and extract leaders from bunkers. But the US isn't just striking from the sea. They are leveraging Colombia to seal the western flank. But how are they using Bogota? The US Air Force is staging from Palenquero Air Base to interdict the Orinoco Delta. Here, P-8 Poseidon patrols act as hunters. The Poseidons sweep for submarines and cartel subs, ensuring no reinforcements slip into the Pacific trade routes. And what is the USS Normandy doing? This Arleigh destroyer is the orchestrator. It functions as the battle management hub for the fleet, sinking satellites, jets, and subs from its advanced combat info center, but carriers take time to maneuver. So, how will the US deliver the knockout blow? This is where strategic air power dominates. The B-2 Spirits won't even stage in the region. They will ghost in from Whiteman AFB, unleash precision JDAMs on palaces and SAM sites, and vanish before radars ping them. What about the B-21 Raider? These next-gen bombers will handle follow-ups. They can infiltrate at Mach speeds to pulverize underground C2 nodes before defenses cycle up. But where will tactical fighters operate from? This is why Guantanamo Bay is pivotal. IT stations, F-35BS just a sprint from Caracas. The RQ for Global Hawks will circle endlessly, pinpointing mobile SAM trucks and erasing them with laser-guided bombs the instant they unmask, while the F-22 Raptors will be the breach force. Their job is to vaporize S for OO. Knockoffs, so follow-on waves own the airspace. Here are CH for 7. Chinooks for heavy lift and stealth. These heavies will deploy from the Iwo Jima and Curacao to drop Ranger platoons into the Andes foothills. But all that ordnance demands sustainment. So, the KC for 6 Pegasus tankers will loiter over the combat zone, refueling stealth jets to extend sorties indefinitely without basing risks. And finally, why the C5M Galaxy Heavies for resupply? No campaign survives on fumes. The C5 South will hammer into Curacao and Polonquero, hauling Abrams tanks, artillery rounds, and fresh battalions to fuel the push inland. So, is regime change locked in? When you see carriers on station, spec ops rotating, and bases humming, the operation feels scripted. You will take a look at different phases and counters from both sides. The U.S. Navy's carriers, subs, assault ships, SEALs, and global hawks are arrayed off Venezuela with a synchronized strategy designed to dismantle both the Maduro forces and the entrenched Tiaran de Aragua networks. From the US perspective, the campaign fuses total ISR dominance, decapitation raids, lightning hellborn insertions, and sea denial to shatter threats and topple the dictatorship. The carriers project unmatched air power, sea control, and hypersonic strikes against regime HQs and drug labs buried deep inland by holding an ironclad missile shield. These behemoths neutralize inbound fire or drone swarms. They also deploy anti-submarine helos to guard the formation against diesel-electric prowlers from Caracas. In these engagements, the escorts shred militia gunboats or corvettes probing the cordon. RS configured a carrier air wing packs over 75 sorties daily with Tomahawks, Phalanx CIWS and ASROCs forward. But that's not all. It integrates NSM anti-ship missiles and dipping sonar for submerged hunters. And if pressed, there's the Virginia-class SSN lurking with supercavitating torpedoes. These hunters pack 5,000 Psy warheads featured in the next breakdown. These platforms excel at attrition and protection, but they can't seize soil. But how do you project power ashore from blue water? The answer lies in these LHD assault platforms engineered to land and sustain armies in denied zones. They mimic mini flat tops but prioritize helos. STOVL jets like the F-35 Byte and Weldex for LCCs. The assault ships embark 2,000 leathernecks primed for hit-and-run seizures and full beachheads. These raiders would blitz cartel vaults, junta bunkers or ports, sinking with Venezuelan rebels inside. Enter the SSN lurking unseen off La Guaira. It hoovers signals intel, shadows patrols, and looses tomahawks to blind radars or torch depots. Its stealth also spooks proxies from Cuba or Hezbollah, hobbling Maduro's backups, the RQ-180. Drones stretch the force's senses. Across the continent, they run 24/7 orbits mapping SAM farms, convoy flows, and narco routes. These sentinels cue fires for TL-aimers and stalk kilos with sonoboys. They wage cyber ops to fry Maduro's netcents, hobbling his tempo. But why is one ghost sub a Navy killer? The answer is these MK-48 ADCAPs. So, let's break down the kill chain. Compressed gas flings the fish outbound. Next, a pump jet drive cranks it to 60 knots. Third, fiber optic guidance links back to the platform for mid-course tweaks. Fourth, it surges to 40 miles at 55 knots or 10,000 yards. Fifth, wire snaps active sonar homes in. Sixth, If it overshoots, it snakes back in re-attack mode with 650 kilograms PBXN fill. This one, fish equals 1.5 tons TNT, and word is supercavitating. Variants are inbound, upgrades Battleworld. Venezuela rebuff USC control, while troops and kingpins dig into safeguard the throne via blended, regular and guerrilla plays. Caracas forces outgunned but terrain savvy. Bank on home field traps, nested SAM grids, and 5 million bolivars to repel landings and shield assets. The army runs shore watchers to harass blockades and lobs exocets at intruders. The kingpins, fused with loyalists, exploit back channels, go fasts, and Lano's cover to foil nets. Their playbook, ghosting patrols via shallows, masking in fishing fleets and melting into mangroves from helos. Thus, the probable clash pits tiered US overmatch MIs, fires, and helos against coastal, thrusts paired with sub-pops and PGMs on, bunkers to gut replies, while US landing teams blitz choke points, quash holdouts, and cleave Maduro blocks. This is how Caracas wages fused resistance blending line units, partisan swarms for ambushes, and narco tricks to bleed invaders. This multifaceted clash mirrors core bets. The US drives to gut trafficking webs and force transitions with tech logi edge, while Venezuela leans mass levies, turf mastery, and shadow wars to offset arms gaps. And finally, here comes Iran. Tehran is poised to feed Caracas with Shatwan 36s and Ababil's. The UAVs could swarm US pickets covertly, using kamikaze loiters to hit runways, TOCs, or depots. This fits a wider ploy to bleed US ops and flaunt low-cost punch. We also made a deep dive into the sea, air, and land components of modern warfare strategy. So subscribe to Force Strategy for more videos to not miss a thing.